So these are the parts that I have completed in this one. So you can also use VirtualBox, VMware, Hyper-V, KVM on a physical machine that you want. But I'm using VMware. So what are the hardware requirements to installation? So for the installation, you should have 2 GB of RAM and 10 GB of hard disk space. Processor can be Intel, AMD, and you can use DVD, pen drive, ISO image, network. So any media you can have, mostly use this one and this particular portion in the company, and this one also pen drive. So this is required for to install on a VMware, VirtualBox, Hyper-V, KVM. So these are the two partitions that are recommended for the installation. That first one is slash, the second one is swap. It's just a virtual memory that I have completed. I have completed these all theoretical portion. So for the slash boot partition, we should have 1 GB of RAM. For slash partition, it means root partition, we should have 10 GB of space, but 20 GB is recommended for this. If we want to install this in a CUI mode, it means command line mode. So 5 GB is recommended for minimal installation. It means command line mode. And for the slash home, 1 GB is recommended, but it depends on the number of users, how much space we should have on slash home. Minimum 55 GB, 100 GB, it's depend on the number of users. How much space we should have on slash home, because all the users data will be installed, will be stored in slash home partition. And this is swap partition, just virtual memory. So this is the table. If we have 2 GB RAM, it's twice 2 to 8 GB, it's equal 8 to 64 GB, it's 4 GB sufficient, and more than 64, 4 GB also sufficient for this. This is recommended for only the UEFI BIOS. So this is to store the information regarding the booting files.
Okay.
This is recommended, and this is only for the IBM Power servers. So this is not mandatory for all operating system, only for the IBM servers. So it stores the information regarding the booting information. So only for the booting purpose. So it's called prep boot partition. So it stores information regarding the booting. So till here, I have completed in day one class. From this one, I will start this particular. So it's 12 to 2. It's PM.
Yes.
So in this session, we will discuss what is BAS and what is this. Mostly, I have completed also this one also in the day one class, and this also completed, and these also completed till now. So this one, I will start from here. But for your understanding, I will do a recall for you. So Sanjeevi, for you only,
Yeah,
because
okay.
people also completed this and Swapis also completed this for
Yeah, okay.
Sanjeev. So have you knowledge about the shell? What
Yeah,
is
yeah,
shell?
yeah. Shell is a, it's like a Windows command line. In Linux, we will call as the terminal, and in the terminal, we will use the shell bash programs to write it and interpret it into the Linux. That's what it is.
Okay. So just what is shell? So this is bash. So we
Mm,
use bash shell. It means we use bash program. When we
correct.
want to type any command, the type any command, it is interpreted by through this particular program. So bash is a program by which we can execute any command. So when any user type any particular command, So this command will be executed by this particular interpreter, this particular program. So it also called the interpreter also. So
Okay.
bash is a program also, and it also known as the interpreter. So on this particular program, we can work. So this is your default shell. The shell is
Bin
bin bash.
bash.
This particular shell we are using. So there are two types of shell. The first one is interactive shell. So this is your interactive shell. So we can interact to the system. And the second one is non-interactive shell. So by which any user cannot log in our machine. So that is /sbin no login shell. If we assign this particular no login shell, then any other user cannot log in our machine. Mostly
Okay.
that is only for the system users, because system users not log in the machine, only access the program. So we use this particular shell to log in. So bash, this is an improved version of sh. This is the earlier shell that used only called bone shell, and this is the full form of bash, GNU bone again shell. So when we log in by regular user, this is the sign for the regular user. When we log in using the root user, this is the sign for the root user. So this is the difference to show, only just showing the difference. The user is regular, the user is root. And any user execute the command by using this particular program. So this is small about the bash. So what is bash? Bash just a program by which we can execute any command. Then we will move to the this one. So bash is just like a cmd.exe that is used in Microsoft Windows. Suppose if we are using Windows machine, then type cmd, this particular shell will open and we can type any command. So it's also known as in Windows prompts. It's a command prompt. Suppose if we are using the Linux, this one, and we want to type any command. So what I do, we should require one interface. The interface is terminal. So this terminal is required to type any particular command. In this particular terminal, we can type anything. It can be your command and it can be your any text. But when we type anything that is not recognized by this particular program, then it will show me an error, because this is not a predefined program. It's just a text string that is not recognized by this particular program. So this is a program which recognize all of your instructions. The instructions can be a right instruction, the instruction can be a wrong instruction. When we type anything that is not a part of this particular program, so this will show me an error. This show kk command not found in this particular program and fail to search. When we type right command, right instruction, then this will show me a right output. When we type command, so command are predefined programs that is recognized by the bash shell, bash program. Then bash can understand this is right or wrong. So he can take decision. So this is a right command. So it not show me any error. It will show me the result. So this is a result. So when we type any particular command on the shell, so it has three parts. The first part that is known as command. The second part that is known as option. The third part that is known as argument. So first we should know the command. If we want to list anything, so this is the command that I know. But I want to list all the permissions. So what I will do, we use this particular options. By this particular options, we can show the permission. But we want to check the individual file permission. So give the name of particular file or particular folder. It can be your file, it can be your folder. So this is known as argument, this is known as option, and this is known as command. So these three components needed to perform specific task. So these are the three basic components that is needed to perform on the shell. So just like this is my command user add, and this is my option -u, and this is the user ID. So this is the option, this one, and this is the last one is the argument. So user add is a command, u is the option, and user is the argument. So these three components are required to perform on the shell. Then we will move to next one. So Sanjeev, what is terminal? Have you knowledge about the terminal?
Yeah, terminal, we can access the terminal via a shortcut icon, and in that we can feed in the commands.
Okay.
And based on, we will get the output or errors. That's it.
Okay. So how many terminals we can open in any Linux machine? It can be Red Hat, Ubuntu, Fedora. So how many terminals we can open in Linux?
No idea.
Okay. So what is the terminal? It's just a text-based interface. So it provides an interface where we can put any command. This one. So any user want to type any command, so we require an interface. We required one interface where we can put any command by using this particular interface. So that is provided by the terminal. So in Linux, we can use 6 terminal. The terminal can be a physical and the terminal can be a virtual. Virtual means sudo. In a physical console, we can open multiple virtual console also. So terminal is also known as the console. So also known as this one as a console. The console can be a physical console and the console can be a virtual console. Physical console known as by the TTY and virtual console is known as PTS. PTS means sudo terminal slave. So this is the full form of PTS and this is the full form of TTY. TTY means teletype, PTS means sudo terminal slave. So we can open 6 terminal, that is physical. So physical terminal only we can open 6. So in these 6, one is GUI and one is login screen and the other 4 is that is command line interface that can be opened by key combination Control Alt F3 to F6. That is available in CUI mode, command line user interface. So there are 2 types of UI. UI means interface. It can be a graphical interface. It can be a command line user interface. So GUI and CUI. And physical can be a 6. That is indicated by TTY1 to TTY2. So these only 6. But physical, it can be from PTS1, PTS2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on up to 6 we can open. So these can be opened only in a physical console. The physical console is GUI. So we can open multiple virtual console. How I can open these? I will show you. So this is my desktop. In this desktop we want to work. So we required one terminal. So this is my terminal, but this terminal is only the virtual terminal. So how I can recognize this is virtual or physical? So this is the command. This command will show me this is your PTS 0. It means this is only the virtual console and this is your first terminal. When we open another, then go to file menu. In this menu, select new tab. So at this time, there are two tabs available, this one and this one. Type here TTY. This will show me the another one. So we can open more than 6, just like we can open Control Shift T, more and more. Then type here. So this is 9. So we can open multiple virtual console. So these are about the virtual console. Then what is physical console? So this is the graphical mode. This is the physically available. That is available on TTY2. So this is my TTY2 mode. That is a GUI. But we want to open the CUI. Then we use Control Alt F3. Then this is my command line interface. I will show you this. So this is my command line interface. We log out here. By default, it is just like appear just like that. So provide the login name here. So by default, we can use root also and provide the password also here. Then you can give the password. Then you can log in the CUI mode. This is your CUI, command line user interface. So this is TTY3. We can open another command line till TTY6. Only we can open 6 terminal, but these are only the CUI from TTY3 to TTY6. I will show you. So give username root, then password, this one. So this prompt will open. So can you tell me the meaning of this one? What is the meaning of this one? Last login. This will show me the message. So what is the meaning of this?
From where I logged in, what time, what day, everything is.
What is the meaning of this one?
IP address, from which IP I last logged in.
It means,
and so it means the same machine actually.
Okay. It means this indicate this user is last time login by the program that is a remote program that is SSH. It means remotely login by locally. If we log in through any other IP, so this will show me the IP also. So this show the last login information. In your local machine, this is login. In the remote machine, this is login. So this will show me the message at this particular time. This user is login on this particular machine. So this is my local machine. If this user is login on another machine, the IP is different can be. So this will show me the IP of this particular machine. So this will show me the last login information. Then when we press here Control Alt F6, Control Alt F6. So we log out from here. This will show me this type of information. So give the login name. Suppose I will give username that is Amit, and we want to log in this. Then give the password, but I have no password, so I can't log in. So I will give only the root. Then password, this one. So this will show me only the TTY3 because in the earlier time it will log in on this particular terminal at this particular time on this. So it will show me the last login information. It can be your login in locally login information. It can be your remote login information. Both can be displayed here. Suppose we want to change this particular terminal by using the command. So we can use command also. When we use chbt1, so it will move to TTY1. When we use 2 here, so it will move to TTY2. When we type 3, it will move to TTY3 also. TTY1, TTY2, TTY3, TTY4 till 6 we can use. So move to this. So this only, this is the TTY2. So this is login screen indicate TTY1. And when we type here, this is my TTY2. I will show you. At this time, we work here and we type a command chvt, that is 2 to indicate the graphical. So this is my graphical mode. So we can use chvt command also, and we can use key combination Control Alt F1 to F6. So this is about the terminal. So what is terminal? It's a interface where you can type any command by any user. So these are two types: physical console, virtual console. Physical means TTY, virtual means PTS. From F1 to F6 we can open this by using key combination also, and by using the chvt command, change virtual terminal. And these can be only 6, from this one to this one, and multiple virtual console PTS1 to PTS2 and so on. And one more information about this, that is this one. In RHEL 8, only in RHEL 8, it's not about the RHEL 7, 6 and 5. GUI is available, then login screen where you can type username. So this is your login screen, is available on TTY1, but only in RHEL 8. It's not available in RHEL 7. And it will switch to TTY2 from this particular mode to this particular mode. It will switch. So it will provide the login prompt on TTY2 mode and login screen on TTY1 mode. And from F3 to F6, we can use the CLI prompt. So we can open multiple CLI prompt for different login information and to work also. And in RHEL 6 and 7, login screen and login prompt both are available on TTY1. It means from TTY2 to TTY6 all can be a CLI prompt. So in this we can open 5 CLI prompt, but in RHEL 8 we can open 4 CLI prompt. So this is the difference between 7 and 8. But what's about 5 and 6? So in RHEL 5 we can open 7 terminal. So in these 7 there are 6 text based and 1 for the graphical. So this is the difference: 5, 6, 7 and 8. 6 and 7 both are the same, but 8 is different, 5 is different. So any doubt, Sanjeevi?
No.
Okay. Then you know about these very well. So these are regarding the login and logout. If you want to log out through any user, you can use this particular command. And we can also use exit command, and we can also use Control D command, this one. And this is for the to log the account. So these are the commands that I will show you. So to log, we can use this command. Log out, we can use this command, and this command. So these are the commands to log in and log out. Then we will move to this one. I will show this part also. Suppose I am login by this particular user, -amit Amit. This is my username. and I'm logging through this users. So this user will be login, and you can check here this particular sign, and at this time this particular sign. So this particular sign indicate the regular user. So Amit is a regular user, it's not a super user. And this is my host name, and this indicate the home directory, and this indicate the sign. You are logging through the regular user and login through the root user. Can you tell me, anyone tell me, what is the meaning of this one? This particular hyphen. What is the meaning of hyphen? Anyone can tell me?
Option.
And first, Sanjeevi.
Option it is.
Option. And Swatis?
Separator.
Separator. And Profile. Have you knowledge about this? Profile. Okay, okay. Your mic is not working. No issue. So this is also option. But what type of option is this? This option is used for which? For which purpose this option is used? And Sanjeevi.
When there is no parameter to the option, this blank hyphen is used.
Okay, I will tell you. So this is the command, and this is my option, and this is my argument.
Argument, yeah.
This is called the last one, that is known as argument. This is option. But this option is used for, this is my question. What is the use of this? This is used for which particular purpose? So it's called login. I want to log in by using this particular user. So this is regarding the login. If I am not using this particular sign, so any other user can't log in it on the bash program. So it is used to log in on the bash, this particular shell. If I'm not using this particular, so any one user cannot log in on the shell. So to log in on this particular program, we use this particular option.
Okay.
If I'm using this particular command, that is only su, then without any this particular option, then username. You can log in the system, but you can't log in on this particular program. So you cannot log out this particular user. You just exit from that console. So you only find the console, not program. Okay, I will show you. Then you can understand this well. Suppose log out here, this is the command to log out, and I want to log in this. So use this one also. So this also working. So this user login now, but here you can see here at that earlier time I'm login, so this sign will be changed. So this indicate the home directory. It means this user goes to your home directory also, and it will find the bash, these both. But in this, it's not use its own home directory and not use its own program. So how I can recognize this is using the program or not? Then I use here this particular command, only this one. So it will display one error. The error is, this is your program. The program is bash. So this is the program where you can log in, but at this time you are not logging in this particular program. So you can't log out this particular. So not log in this particular shell. So you can only the exit from this particular console. This is your console where you are working. That is CLI console. So you can use this particular command. We have two commands, log out also, exit also. So exit, just exit from the terminal, that only interface. But for exit from the bash program, what we can use? Log out, this one, log out. So we can use this. So when we use exit here, so this only just for the exit command. And suppose I will show you one more difference also. When we use this one, at this time we exit also here, same command. What it will display me? It will perform this particular command in background by this particular. So this command not run. In background, this command will work because you are on this particular console also, and your home directory also, your bash program also. But how I will recognize this is working in your program? PS, you can see here, only these two processes work here. This is the process ID of this particular program. At this time, you have only the bash program. So by this command, we can also recognize that I'm saying. But when we use this one, again, not use this one, then again type PS. So it will also show me the bash program. It will find the bash. So what is the process ID of this particular bash? This one. But use this particular command, env, environmental variable. So this will show me the difference. So at this time where I am working, in this particular working directory. What is the home directory of this? This is the home directory of this particular user. And what is the username? This will show me the environment in an environmental. Root is login. On this, you have login this particular user. At this time, we have the information regarding this. So this is the program of which? Of root user. So that is the small difference between SU and without hyphen and with hyphen. If you want to know more and more about this, so you can use man and SU. So you can see here, this is the concept that I have tell you. So it will start the shell. What type of shell? There are two types of shell, that is login shell and no login shell. It means interactive shell, non-interactive shell. So it will log in on the interactive shell. So you can use all the environment similar. And this environment we can use by the env command. So this is the real login shell. So we can use this. So it will use all the same. The terminal is the same, username is same, login name is same, path is same. So this is the difference by using this particular and without using this. So without using this, you can't access these all things. It can be login, path, user, these. So these are the environmental variables. So this is also a variable, also variable. These are the variables. These are called variables. Variables means it has some value. This is working in a home directory or not working in a home directory. So this will show the information about these all things: home directory, shell information, user information, login information, path information. So this is all about this. So I hope you understand this particular concept regarding.
Yeah.
Okay, then we will move to the another one. That is so you can use this to power off. If you want to power off your machine, so you can use init space 0. You can also use power off button, and to reboot your machine you can use reboot, and you can also use init space 6. So these are used to reboot both, and these are used to power off. Suppose if you are in a CUI mode and you want to move the GUI by the command, so which command you will use? Init space 5. So we can use init space 5 for the graphical mode, to move on the graphical mode. So these are the commands related to reboot and the shutdown. So any doubt here?
No, no, no.
So then I will move to the next command. These are the commands that I have told you regarding. I have completed this one, this one, this one, PWD. So this call to check
Current
your
working
present
directory.
working directory. So we can use this command. Okay. These have completed, this completed, this all completed. Okay. Then this concept, this chapter will be complete, that I have completed earlier class, that is day 1 class. Then so any doubt regarding these concepts? So this is the theoretical portion. So study this, then any doubt, then I will clear your doubt. Okay, Sanjeevi?
Yeah, okay, okay.
I will share, I will provide these all notes to ma'am, then she will share you.
Yeah, okay, okay. Fine.
Okay. And the recording also.
Yes, yes, yes.
So then I will start the day 2 session. I will give one more information regarding the installation. I will complete within 5 minutes. So your all session will complete. Suppose if you want to install your machine in RHEL 8 machine on VirtualBox, and it can be installed in a VMware also, Hyper-V also. So start your program, then create your virtual machine. This one. Then next, use this particular last option. Then next, you can use RHEL 8 version. Then next, and this is my VM2. So give any name here. Then next, okay, I have also have this name. Then next, so provide the space. So I will provide here 100 GB. Then next, then provide only 3 information: memory, processor. I will give here 2 cores. Then tick this particular wizard, Intel VT. Then provide your 8.0, 8.2 on that. 8.3 is also available on the internet. So we use 8.2. So this one. Then just close the wizard. You don't need to change anything. Then finish this. After creating this particular machine, then start this particular machine. So select only the first option, that is install Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Use this one. This indicate you. This is called TT by 2 that I have told you. but it's only available in RHEL 8. So here select your English language, then India also, English, then India. Then click on continue. Then select keyboard, language support, then time zone. Click on India map, then done. That is Asia, Kolkata. You can use AM, PM information also. It's 1. I will correct this particular time. So that is 1:17. 1:17. It's PM, done. Then installation process, that is local media, then graphical selection, also same. And click on this one. So here, click on done, custom, then done. If you want to click this one, then all partition will be created automatically like this. So these all partition will create. If you want to give some space manually, so you can give manually also like this. When we use standard, then click on this particular button, plus button. So you can provide manual space also. Suppose we want to provide 20 GB, so you can provide 20 GB here. If you want to provide for the home different swap, so that is 1 GB. So I can provide this one. So it's depend on your choice. You can select this manually and you can select this automatically. But I will select this automatically. Then all partition will be created and we can utilize all my hard disk. So click on this one. So it will create this partition, this partition, this partition, this partition. So it store the personal data of this particular user, this for booting information, this for store all the files regarding the OS, and it's for the virtual memory. So this is regarding the partition. Then done here, then apply changes. So it's only for you. Just if you have any doubt regarding the installation, then you can install in your machine. Okay, Sanjeevi? Only for
okay.
you. Then click on begin installation. So give the root password also. Then again click 2 times, done. 2 times, not 1 time, 2 times. Then provide any name that you want. If you want make this as an admin, this user will work as an administrator. So click this particular option. Then
Yeah.
provide password. Again retype this. Then done. If you done 1 time, it will show me as done again. Then again. So 2 times done. So it has 1348 packages. So these will be installed within 5 to 10 minutes. Then so this is concept of today class. So what are the use of these particular commands? I will show you. Then the first command, that is who am I. Second one is that is who command. The third one is w command. So have you any knowledge regarding these 3 commands?
Who am I is the, what is the current user, current logged in user's name?
Okay,
Who
okay,
will give you what are all the users logged into the system? These two I
okay.
know.
And what is the use of w?
No idea.
Okay, I will show you. So these are the basic commands. So these commands are used to display the information regarding the user. But the user can be login on a physical console. User can be login on a virtual console. So this particular command provide the information about the current user information. Who is the login currently on physical machine, on virtual machine, or it can be your physical console, virtual console, like this. I will show this one. Suppose I have created one user, the username is this one, and I will provide the password of this also. The password is this one, and I want to log in using this particular user, then use su command, then hyphen command, then username, this one, and we are working in this particular present working directory. So this command indicate the present working directory, and we want to know about this one. So what is the output? So I type who am I. So this will show me the information of the current working user. This is my current user, and you show here, this is my root user that is physically login, but it not show me about this particular information, because this is also working currently, but physical machine. But at this particular virtual console, this user is working. So this will show me the information about this particular terminal, this particular console. That can be physical, that can be virtual. So this is a virtual console. In this particular user is working. But when we use only this particular command, it not show me the information about the current working user. It will show me the information regarding the physical console only. So this user is currently logging on TTY2, this one. This will show me the information about this. So this is the GUI console, and these are the CLI console, where root user is working on a TTY3, on a TTY4, on a TTY6. So this will show me the information about all. And when we type W here, this will show me the local information, local login information, and remote login information. So this is a local login. From means locally. If we here see here the IP, the host name, then means it login through the remotely by using any program. It can be a SSH program, FTP program, any program. So this will show the information like this. Suppose if we are using SSH and log in to this particular user on my local machine, local host, then type just yes, then password. So this will show me the information about this one. So this is my PTS1. In this we log in here remotely. It means it's a remote login. It's not a local login. Local indicated by this particular, and remote login indicated by this one. So this is the IP address of local host for IP version 6. If we log in here by the IP 127.0.0.1, so this will show me the information about this particular IP. I will show this again. So here show the IP address. So this user is working on this particular machine locally and on this particular machine remotely. Suppose I am in Delhi and I want to access the server that is located in a Chennai. So we can access that particular server through the SSH, and we can work on that particular server by using the SSH program, FTP program, anything. So I want to check I'm working locally or remotely. So we can use this one. So this is the concept regarding the who. What is who? It will show me. So it will show me the information. So W is indicate the login information. So this will show me information regarding the print information regarding the user who is currently login, or we can say that physically login. So it will show me all the information, physical console. And we want to check about this one, who am I? So only just print effective user ID who is currently working on that particular console, that particular terminal. So that is associated, or we can say that effective current user ID information. So this will indicate like this. And I want to use this one. So this will show me the user is currently logged in on the machine. And this will also indicate the remote login information. What type of information? Remote host information, login time, ideal time, joint CPU time, parent CPU time, all the information this indicated by this particular command. So show who is login and what they are doing on the machine. So this is the small difference between who am I, and W. So any doubt?
No.
Sanjeevi and Profal, any doubt? Both of you?
No.
Okay. Profal, any doubt? You can give me the text in chat box so I can understand. If you have any doubt, then I will clear your doubt. Okay. Profal means you have no doubt. Then we will move to the next one. So this is regarding these three commands. Then we will move to this particular. So what is the use of semicolon?
Split one command from another. If we are using multiple commands in one single line, if we use semicolon, those commands are separated.
Okay. So
it will execute one after another.
Okay. So semicolon will just work as a separator. We can say that. So it will separate one command to another command. Suppose we want to type two commands, command 1 and command 2. And when we use here semicolon, so this command will work separately and this command will work separately. There is no dependency of this particular command to this particular command. Both are separated by this particular separator. So we can use more than one command in a single line. We can say that because we can't type more commands multiple lines. If we want to use this as a one line in a one command, so we can use this one. So suppose this is my command, that is mkdir. It will create this particular directory, and after creating this, switch this particular directory, change this particular directory, and in this directory create one file also. So we can use three commands at the same time. So semicolon is used to combine, to use more than, not combine, we can use more than one command in a single line. So this command will work as a separator. So this is semicolon is just a character. What type of character? It's a meta character. Meta means it's a special character that work as a separator, not just as a character. It has a special meaning. So it can separate the commands. So it will work. This is different command. So we use this command, second command, third command, fourth command. So at this time we using 4 command at one time. So we use semicolon. I will show this. What is the process of this? So this installation will be complete, then reboot this. So this machine will reboot.
Where will you enter the subscription thing?
Then select the license information also here. So it's your EULA and user license agreement. Select this one, then done this. Then click on finish configuration. So this is the process of installation. Then give the name here root also to log in through the root. If you want to log in through this particular user, then give password of this user. This is the first wizard, that is welcome wizard. What type of language you want to use, then next this one, and this is regarding the typing information. Next this one, this is for the location. Next this one, then skip this particular. If you want to log in any account like Google, Nextcloud, Microsoft, Facebook, then you can use. What I want, skip this. Then start Red Hat Enterprise Linux machine. And this is regarding the help. Then skip, close this particular also. Then you can work this also. Open the terminal. Increase the size of this so you can use this.
Okay.
Then, so I will show you this one. So what is the use of semicolon? If I am creating a directory, the directory name is my data, this one. And at the same time, we want to move this particular directory, cd my data, this one. And after moving on this particular directory, we want to create a file in this touch jet11, this one. And I want to list the file is created or not. So at the time, in one line, we use this command to create the directory, this command to change the directory, this command to create the file, this command to list the file. In one command we list, so this file is created, so it will show me the information. And we can also use ls. So this is the concept that is used to separate more than one commands. So suppose we want to use these two commands, ls, then again wc command. So see here, so this command will perform, but this command is not performed because I type only the commands. So there is no output here. So this will show me just this. When we use jet11, then this will show me the output because we don't type the argument. This is my command, this is also command, this is my argument. What type of, we want to count the word, so it's called word counting. So this will show me there is nothing because this is only the 0-byte file, because touch is used to create the 0-byte file. So this have no characters in this particular file, so this will show me nothing. So this is your file, this is the output of this particular command, and this is the output of this particular command. So these two commands, so we can use more than 2, 3, 4 commands separately. Then we will move to this one. So any doubt here?
No.
Then we will use this one. So have you knowledge about pipe symbol?
Yeah. Output of one command will be fed as input to the right switch command.
Okay. So in this, every command is depending on the
Previous command.
It means if we type anything, suppose This is my command 1, or we can say that it will print me the output. This is my output of this particular command, and this output will become input, because every command need a input through the keyboard and through the terminal, because input is typed by the keyboard. Mostly we give the input from keyboard, but at this time we are using the input from this particular output. So this particular output will become the input, because for the input the number is 0, for the output the number is 1. So 1 will become the 0 by using this particular sign, or we can say that this particular output will become input for the next command, and this will also show me the output. When we use 3 command, this output will become input for this particular command. It means the output of this command will become input for this command. It means this command is depending on which particular command? This previous command. So we can use here pipe sign. I will show this. So pipe symbol means first command output will become the input for the next command. Suppose we have cat command. This will show me the output of this particular file, and I want to use this particular output for this particular command. So this will show me the only this particular user information. I do not want all information, just this information. So we use here pipe symbol. From this particular, we want only the specific information. So we can use pipe. I will show the use of this particular sign. So we have a command that is cat. This particular directory, and this is a file name where all user information is stored. I have created this particular user. So this will show me the output of all users, but I want the output of this particular user, then what you will do? If you use here just grep and this one, so this will show me nothing. The first command will complete, then when the next command is completed, then this will show me error. So this will show me grep no such file or directory, because this understand this is a command, this is an argument. So this is not my argument, this is not my option. By default it will use the same behavior. The behavior of the shell is first you type anything, this is a command. Second, you type anything, this is just as work as a option. Third one, you type anything, that is work as an argument. But you can interchange these one. You can type option on the last also, you can type argument on the first also. These are the interchangeable, but after this you can type anything. So this can be your second argument, third argument, fourth argument. So just understand this as an argument, not as a command. And I want to use as a command. So we can use the sign here. So which particular sign I will use? That is pipe. Use this. So this not work as a separator. This is work as a pipe sign. So the output of this command will become the input for this one. So it will capture this particular output. So this, and we want to confirm how many characters in this. We can use another command also, wc hyphen c. So how many characters in this?
Hyphen.
Hyphen c. So these are the characters. So we can combine more than one command. This is one command, this is second command, this is the third command. And this command depend on this command depend on this, and this will show me the final output. But in this one, it will show me the different output. The second command show me the different output. Here we have different output, but here the final output will show, not this output again, this output again. So the output, we use this particular output and convert this as an input for this command, and the output of this will become input for this command, and from this we can use also for the next command. So this is about the pipe. So I think you have knowledge earlier also about this, and if any doubt regarding this,
No.
okay, then I will move to next one. Okay, I think in the next session I will complete the next one, because this will require minimum 20 to 25 minutes. This is a long topic. So any question regarding the earlier topic that you want to ask, then in the next session I will start this particular command on the next session,
Okay.
because only one student rest, all the students quit from the class. So I think all the concept is clear
Yeah, I understand.
regarding the installation and some basic commands. Then on the next class that is conducted on Saturday, then I will start from here. This
Yeah,
one.
okay.
If any issue regarding anything, it can be related to this particular topic and other topic also, you can ask within 10 to 15 minutes. We have at this time 15 minutes also.
Yeah,
Best.
do we need to put a Linux subscription for updates? No, right? That's not mandatory, right?
No, there is no need to subscription. You
Okay.
just install that. For any update, you don't need a subscription. If you want to update, so maybe subscription is needed, but not for all the commands, all any practical, you don't need the subscription.
Okay, understood.
Just like yum also, if you want to update any package, there's no need.
Okay.
It's just only for the company purpose. Subscription is needed
Understood.
to get the support. So subscription
Understood.
just for the support. Any types of support you can get.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So this document and recording will provided you.
Yeah, sure.
So you can contact with ma'am. So she will share all the database.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
So then end the session.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.